Hello and welcome to ET Garage. Today's video is part 2 of a no start and what the solution was. Alright, like I was saying, this is part 2 of a no start situation. Anyone who watched the last video, I got stranded on the side of the road. Had to get a roll back home. That was $150 for anybody who's wondering what that cost me. And got it home and started troubleshooting it. And in that last video, you see everything I did. Checked for fuel pressure. I then ended up checking for spark. Ended up taking the cap off, putting it back on, and then realized I needed to check because I needed to check for spark. I had spark, so I eliminated the fuel pressure, I eliminated the spark. I then went and sprayed brake clean in the throttle body, and it ran, indicating the injectors weren't firing. So I then went on and started. I don't have a Noid light. They have these Noid lights that you hook up, and that'll let you know if all the injectors are firing. It'll flash when you crank it. I just used the test light, didn't get any signal. I then I can't even remember what I did after that, but I decided to end the video and go on and do more troubleshooting and do a second part of the video. But basically, I went to the factory service manual and followed the tree. Here in the States, this is called a factory service manual. Mine's all beat up. The cover's missing on the main one, and this is the electrical supplement, and that's basically what the cover looks like. When it, new, of course, it looks better. I think these come in, like the main manual also comes in 2 volumes. But you can get it on CD. And the thing you like about the CD is I can go on my computer and print out a specific page. Like I did here, if I can find it. Yep, there it is. And I will put this over here, a picture of it here on the video, and then I will include a picture of it at the end of the video for anyone who wants to look through it. But this picks up where, basically picks up where the no blinking light at the injector, which I already did, and that's where I picked up from. But basically it goes like this. I'm going to read down this. Oh, by the way, over in England, they don't call this a factory service manual. They call it like a dealer's manual or something like that. I learned that from a gentleman. I'll leave a link to his video. He found this really nice ZR1 sitting in a driveway forever, and he's fixing it up over in England. But I'll leave a link to that video, and I'll leave a link to the first part of this video somewhere during this video up here, or up here, somewhere up here. But anyway, get on with this. The left off, no blinking light at injector, so I know I'm not getting a signal to the injectors. Okay, then it goes on. You got 2 choices. If it's a steady light, you follow the tree down. Now the other side, if there's no light, you go to ignition on, probe injector harness terminals with the test light to ground. And you just take a test light, ground it, and hook it to each injector terminal. Light should be on at both terminals. Okay, light was on at both terminals for every injector. I checked every one. So I go back down the tree, light on both, reconnect injectors, ignition off, disconnect ECM, ignition on, probe terminals D9 and D3 with a test light. If you have the factory service manual, it will show you which connector is D9 and D3. That's the brown connector on here, and then you just count the connectors to find the one you need. Probe terminals D9 and D3 with test light to ground. Light on. Light was on for them. So it says refer to facing page. I wasn't able to print that facing page because I ran out of ink. But my printer ran out of ink. But I'll show a picture of it over here, and I'll read. And it goes on, check 12-volt battery supply to injectors. Injectors wire parallel, it should be light on. Already did that. Check a 2-inch circuit in 68. Checks made at this point would indicate that the ECM is at fault. However, there's a possibility circuit 467, 46 being shorted, the voltage shorts either in the engine harness or the injector harness. The circuit they're talking to is in fact D9 and D3 that we probed. Okay. Disconnect all injectors, ignition on, probe circuit for ECM side injector harness with test light connected to ground. That we already did in the tree. That's one injector harness on each side of engine. Should be no light. Okay, when it says injector harness on each side, it's referring to D9 and D3. You can look in this picture here, the circuit and which pin it goes to. If okay, check the resistance of injectors. My injectors are only about a month old, and I knew they were going to test good. I went and tested them anyway. Process of elimination, because you never know. They should all be more than 10 ohms. Mine were all like 14 something, 14 to 15 ohms. Check injector harness connector. Make sure terminals are not backed out connector and contacting. If all okay, replace ECM. Now, if you watch in my last video, I replaced the ECM, I replaced the MEMCAL, I replaced the chip adapter that I have and the chip, eliminated all that, and it didn't fire. So now I'm thinking, what the heck? If the injectors aren't firing, it's because they're not getting a signal from the distributor. The ECM on the L98s needs a signal from the distributor to know when to fire the injectors, and you should get a code for that. I can't remember the code. I'll leave it up here if I can look it up. But there should be a code when it doesn't get the signal from the distributor. I wasn't getting any codes. Now, whenever you disconnect 12 volts from the ECM or replace the ECM, it's going to clear itself, so you're not going to get any codes. But once I hooked that ECM and cranked it, I should have got a code that it wasn't getting a signal. But I didn't get any. I didn't get an SYS light, no light saying or any types of indication there was a problem. Don't know why. At this point, I don't care. So I figure, well, it can't be. It's got to be something with the harness, either the harness going from the distributor to the ECM, or it's got to be a problem with that ignition module inside a distributor. Those are known to fail. Usually they don't feel that way. They just die. And they usually just die on you, which was kind of similar to what happened. But I was getting spark, so that indicated that it's working. Maybe it ain't working completely. I don't know. But anyway, I start feeling around in the back of the distributor. Even with a light, you can't see back there. It's really difficult. And realized that this connector here popped out. That's all it was. This connector here popped out the back of the distributor, and this here right here is a wiring harness adapter, because I converted mine from a large cap to a small cap distributor due to the intake. Large cap won't clear the back of that intake, so I had to go to a small cap. And last time I had the distributor out, maybe I didn't click it all the way in all the way, or maybe it just popped out on its own. I'm hoping I actually hope I didn't click it in all the way, because I hate to think this is going to pop out again on me. If I do get stranded on the side of the road, this is going to be the first thing I check. But I made sure it's clicked in really good this time. The screwed up thing is I'm going to have to take that distributor out again, because it's still leaking oil at the base, so I got to take care of that. It's a minor leak, and I probably won't do it till later in the week, or I'll wait for a rainy day or something. Right now it's like beautiful in Pennsylvania. It's going to get up in the 80s, sunny. And I got the top off, as you can see. I was out after I plugged it in. I went and took this car for a test ride, popped the top, and it was a beautiful day yesterday too, and it ran great. So that's what the problem was. Simple thing like that is what caused me to be stuck on the side of the road. It cost me $150 in a rollback to get back home and all that good stuff. And pretty much wasted half a day diagnosing. I wouldn't say I wasted half a day. I probably had a couple of hours into diagnosing this. I'm going to add a lot more hours, because I've kept moving the camera around and doing this and doing that. And then, editing the video. But I probably only had a couple of hours of diagnosing. If you diagnose something like this, just be patient. Just follow the steps. And if that doesn't solve the problem, you just got to think for yourself like I just did. Try and think how everything works. And just start looking for the obvious. So this is on me, I guess. Maybe I didn't click it in good enough or not. I also had my fuse panel cover off and lost the little knob that holds the fuse panel cover in, so I got to get another one of them. That's those I can get on eBay all day long, so that's not biggie. But that's what it was. A simple connector unplugged from the back of the distributor. So everybody have a great day. I'm going to go out and enjoy this nice weather. I hope you do too. Everybody, like I said, everybody have a great day and God bless.